Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 17th of October, 1987. And the title is The Decoration of Brahmin Life is Purity. Today, Bap Dada is looking at his children of the world from everywhere who are especially going to be worthy of worship. Out of the whole world, so few become invaluable, worthy of worship jewels. Only the worthy of worship souls become the special lights of the world. Just as when there is no light, life in the body, there is no world. In the same way, if in this world there were not you elevated, worthy of worship souls, your lights of the world would have no importance. The golden age, the first age, and the Satopradhan age, the new world begins with you special souls. You worthy of worship souls are the images of support for the new world. So, you should have so much importance. You worthy of worship souls are the new lights for the world. Your stage of ascending becomes instrumental to take the world into its elevated stage. When you enter the stage of falling down, the world too enters into the stage of falling down. When you are transformed, the world is also transformed. You are such great souls with such importance. Today, Bap Dada was looking at all the children. To become a Brahmin means to become worthy of worship, because Brahmins become deities, and deities means worthy of worship. All deities are worthy of worship. Nevertheless, they are definitely number-wise. Some deities are worshipped regularly in the right way, and some deities are not. Every action of some deities is worshipped, whereas for others, not all of their actions are worshipped. Some decorated in the right way every day, whereas others are not decorated every day. They are superficially decorated on the surface, but not in the right way. In front of some deities, devotional songs are sung all the time, whereas those songs are only sung sometimes in front of others. What is the reason for all of that? All of you are called Brahmins. All of you study knowledge and yoga. Yet, why is there this difference? There is a difference in dharana. Nevertheless, do you know on the basis of which particular dharana it is number-wise? The special basis of becoming worthy of worship is purity. The more you adopt all types of purity, the more you become worthy of worship in every way. Those who easily adopt purity constantly in the right way as their original and eternal virtue are those who become worthy of worship in the right way. What are all the types of purity? Those souls who easily and automatically fulfill their responsibilities in all their connections and relationships to all souls, whether in knowledge or without knowledge, through their every thought, word, and deed, with a constantly pure attitude, vision, and vibrations, are said to have all types of purity. Even in your dreams, there should be nothing lacking in adopting all types of purity for the self and for others. For instance, if celibacy is broken even in your dreams, or if you perform actions or speak to another soul under the influence of jealousy or anger, if your interaction with that one is based on even a trace of anger, that would also be considered to be breaking the vow of purity. Just think about it. If even dreams have such an effect, then how much effect would actions performed physically have? This is why an idol that is damaged is never worthy of worship. Damaged idols are not placed in the temples. They stay in the museums of today. Devotees do not go there. There is just their praise. There are very old idols. That is all. They call the damage of the physical limbs breakage. But in fact, if there is the breakage of observing purity in any way, then that soul becomes deprived of receiving a worthy of worship status. In the same way, if all four types of purity are observed in the right way, then the worship too is in the right way. Purity in your mind, words, actions, relationships, and connections are included in actions and dreams is called complete purity. Because of carelessness, some children try just to make do and move along with the older ones or younger ones, saying, "My intention was very good, but the words just emerged," or "That was not my aim, but it just happened," or "I only said that," or "did that as a joke." This is also making do, and that is why the worship of you is also just making do. This carelessness makes you number wise in the stage of being fully worthy of worship. This too is accumulated in the account of impurity. You were told that the sign of worthy of worship pure souls is that all four types of their purity will be natural, easy, and constant. They don't have to think about it, but the dharana of purity automatically makes their thoughts, words, deeds, and dreams accurate. Firstly, accurate means to be yogyukt, and secondly, accurate means that every thought would have a meaning. It would not be meaningless. You would not say, "I said it just like that, for the sake of it. It just emerged. I just did it," or "it just happened." Such pure souls constantly remain accurate and yogyukt in every action, that is, through their whole day's activity. This is why every action of such souls is worshipped, that is, their whole day's activity is worshipped. A viewing is given of all their different activities from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep. If any action is not accurate or not constantly according to the timetable created for Brahmin life, then because of that difference, there will be a difference in the way that you are worshipped. For instance, if someone is not disciplined in waking up at Amrit Vela, then in their worship too, their worshippers will also fluctuate in worshipping them. That is, the worshippers will also not wake up at the right time and worship them. They will only worship them when it suits them, or else, if they don't experience an awakened stage at Amrit Vela, if sometimes they sit under compulsion, sometimes with laziness, and sometimes with alertness, then their worshipper too will worship them under compulsion of laziness. They will not worship them in the right way. In this way, every action of the timetable affects becoming worthy of worship. Not to move along in the right way, to fluctuate in any part of the timetable is also counted as a trace of impurity, because laziness and carelessness are also vices. Actions that are not accurate are vice. Therefore, that is a trace of impurity, is it not? Because of this, you become number-wise in attaining a worthy of worship status. So, what is the foundation? Purity. The dharana of purity is very deep. The ways and means of actions are based on purity. Purity is not just gross things. Simply to be celibate or to remain free from attachment is not called purity. Purity is the decoration of Brahmin life. Others should experience the decoration of purity from your face and your activity at every moment. The decoration of purity should always be revealed in a practical way in your eyes, your mouth, hands, and feet. Anyone who looks at your face should experience purity in your features. Just as they speak of other types of features, similarly, they should say that purity is visible in your features, that there is the sparkle of purity in your eyes, and the smile of purity on your lips. They should not see anything else. This is called being an image that is decorated with the decoration of purity. Do you understand? There is a lot more depth to purity, which you will continue to hear later. Just as the philosophy of actions is deep, so too the definition of purity is also very deep, and purity is the foundation. Acha, today those from Gujarat have come. Those from Gujarat are always dancing and singing with lightness. No matter how heavy they may be physically, they become light and dance. The specialty of Gujarat is always to remain light, always to dance in happiness, and to continue to sing songs of the Father and their attainments. From childhood, they sing and dance very well. What do they do in Brahmin life? A Brahmin life means a life of pleasure. When you have garbaras, dancing in unity in a circle, you enjoy yourselves, do you not? If you did not enjoy yourselves, you would not be able to do that for long. When you are enjoying yourselves and are intoxicated, you don't feel tired. You become tireless. So, Brahmin life means a life of constantly remaining in pleasure. The other is physical pleasure, where Brahmin life is pleasure of the mind. Let the mind always continue to dance and sing in pleasure. Those people have the practice of being light and dancing and singing. So they don't find it difficult to be double light in their Brahmin life. So those from Gujarat means those who constantly have the practice of remaining light, those who are always blessed. So, the whole of Gujarat has received this blessing of being double light. You also receive blessings through the Murli, do you not? You were told that everything in your world happens according to capacity and the time. As the capacity, so the result. In the subtle region, there is no language of anything being according to capacity, etc. Here, both day and night have to be considered. There is neither day nor light, neither does the sun rise, nor is there the moon. It is beyond both. You have to go there, do you not? In your heart-to-heart conversation, you children asked, "Till when?" Bap-Dada replied, "If you children say that you are ready, then Bap-Dada can do it now. Then there would be no question of when. The question when only arises as long as the whole rosary is not yet ready. Now, when you sit to extract the names, then even for the 108, you would have to think whether to include someone's name or not. Now, in the rosary of 108, everyone should give the same 108 names. Nevertheless, there will be a difference. Bap-Dada can clap now, and everything can instantly begin to happen now, with the elements and also the people. That wouldn't take long. However, the Father loves all the children. He will hold your hand, for only then will you go with him. To put your hand in his hand means to become equal. You would say, not everyone will become equal, or not everyone will become number one. However, following number one is number two. That bead may not become equal to the Father, but at least it would be equal to the number one bead. The third bead would be equal to the second bead. The fourth bead would be equal to the third. At least they should become equal in that way. And by each one coming close to the next, the rosary will be prepared. To reach such a stage means to become equal. The 108th bead would be similar to the 107th bead. If they have specialties like that, like each other, the rosary will be prepared. It has to be number-wise. Do you understand? The Father asks, is there anyone now who can guarantee that yes, everyone is ready? It would only take Bap-Dada a second. You used to be shown those scenes when Baba would clap and angels would come. Acha, to all the supremely worthy of worship elevated souls, to all the intense effort-making souls who reach their aim of all types of complete purity, to the souls who are embodiments of success by performing every action in the right way, to the special souls who are decorated with the decoration of purity at every moment, Bap-Dada's love-filled remembrance. Bap-Dada meeting a group. Do you consider yourselves to be the most fortunate ones in the world? The whole world is calling out for that elevated fortune, that their fortune should open. Your fortune has already opened. What could be of greater happiness than this? You have the intoxication that the bestower of fortune is your father. Do you not? Just imagine what the fortune would be of someone whose father is the bestower of fortune. Could there be greater fortune than this? Therefore, always have the happiness that fortune is your birthright. Children have a right to all the property that belongs to their father. So, what does the bestower of fortune have? The treasures of fortune. You now have a right to those treasures. So, always continue to sing the song, Wah, my fortune, and my father, the bestower of fortune, and fly in happiness. What else would one who has such elevated fortune need? Everything is included in your fortune. A fortunate person has everything: body, mind, wealth, and people, relationships. An elevated fortune means that nothing is unattained. Do you lack anything? I want a good house. I want a good car. No, someone who has found happiness of mind has attained everything, not just a car, but that one has found plentiful treasures. So there is nothing unattained. You are such fortunate ones. What is the use of having a desire for perishable things? What exists today will not exist tomorrow. So why should you have any desire for it? Therefore, always stay in the happiness of the imperishable treasures that are with you now and will go with you. These buildings, cars, and money will not go with you, but these imperishable treasures will be with you for many births. No one can snatch them away from you. No one can loot them. You yourself have become immortal and have found the imperishable treasures. Birth after birth, this elevated reward will stay with you. It is such a huge fortune. Where there are no desires, where you are ignorant of the knowledge of desires, you have attained such elevated fortune from the Father, the bestower of fortune. Blessing, may you be a number one angel and so a world emperor who creates great fortune through great renunciation like Father Brahma. The children who follow every step of action of Father Brahma receive the blessing of being a number one angel and so a world emperor. Their mind and intellect are surrendered to the Father in a practical way, just as Father Brahma claimed great fortune through his great renunciation. That is, he became the number one complete angel, and so the number one world emperor. So too, the children who follow the Father would be the great renunciates who have completely renounced everything. They will even renounce the progeny of vices from their sanskars. Slogan: all supports are now going to break. Therefore, make the one Father your support. Om Shanti.